Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the show. Today we have amongst us Mr. Kamal Vadhera, the CEO of Top Carries Neo, commonly known as TCY, a fast rising company engaged in test preparation and supplemental education. TCY has made long strides since its modest beginning in the year 1998. The TCY chief reveals the company's success secret and the journey so far to my colleague Shweta. Over to Shweta.
Good morning, Mr. Vadera. This is
Hi.
Shweta, and
Hi.
welcome to our show here.
Thank you.
Mr. Vadera, TCY has come of age, and where do you find its growth since its inception in 1998?
Well, Shweta, I would say, you know, in retrospection, if I see the organization or if I see my life, these are almost analogous. When you look back, you always think you could have done much better in a few areas, and there are a few areas in which you exceeded your own expectations. So, in a nutshell, I would say, we started with like 20 students in our classroom, having started from Punjab. And this year we have around 7,000 students in our classrooms only, and around 24,000 students online
That's pretty good.
from within India, and around 750 to 1,000 students we are catering to in e-tutoring. Those students are from the US and Canada. So, if I see all these numbers, these seem to be pretty heartening. But definitely, in hindsight, I would say a few decisions, could have been better. But that's okay. If you'll take 10 decisions, 2 will go wrong, 2 will be average, and that's how I see the whole story. Yes.
And do you think you are bringing a new world into private tutoring and in Northern India, especially?
How I see this situation is, when Rajesh and I started this, I'm very upfront and frank in telling you that if we look back today, we were not very scientific in understanding the macro environment and connecting it to the micro environment as we see our projects today. So that was one. And secondly, whenever we discussed with people in those days that this is the kind of enterprise, this is the kind of offering we're going to start from Ludhiana, that happens to be our hometown. And most of the people, I would say 90% of the people and our friends and relatives who I spoke to said, no, this is not the right place to begin education from, an educational enterprise from. And then you say Ludhiana, the first few things that come to your mind is textile woolens, cycle paths, and stuff like that. So people, our friends used to say, oh, Kamal, how would you attract talent? How would you do this, your back end, your front end? One thing was very clear to both of us from day one. First of all, from the standpoint of starting an enterprise, what are the pieces, that are required? So for those pieces to be there in our enterprise, do you really have to be in Bombay's or Delhi's or Calcutta's of the world? So if we can start from here and build, and if it is scalable, and at any point of time we think, oh, now geographically this city or this location makes more sense, we would always, we can always go there. And today I can very confidently tell you that first of all, over the years we not only got exposure for ourselves from almost all parts of India, but from the US, Canada, and a couple of other countries also, and we met uh, people touching the education sector from a business standpoint, from academic standpoint, from other standpoints. We're pretty comfortable now. Some of the team members from within, if they're planted anywhere in the world, they can run the projects. That's not an issue. That's the way the team has been evolving.
We have heard a lot about your online tutoring, and even the online preparation has been launched.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give some knowledge about the same or information to our young viewers?
Yeah. As I think part of the answer would come from one of your preceding questions. As I said, now everything is boundaryless.
Yeah,
And you know, as a startup, as any startup would be, we were always short of resources.
that's
It
right.
could be financial resources, it could be human resources, all kinds of resources. But at the same time, we had very high ambitions. How to make things happen within those resources? You know, given those constraints, how to make things happen? So we always used to think, we don't care who is present where, who is doing classroom training, who's doing postal training, who's doing blah blah blah. But there has to be a way that every student can be a student also. It could just be a top up of
Yeah.
other services also. So that's how, so we started now to reach to millions of students. So we always needed a vehicle to ride.
That's right.
It's like you try to find your canvas. You want to paint or something. So internet was the obvious choice. And that came in front of us a few years back. And since our content was a strength, and our R&D and content, content development, our backend is very strong, and so from reasonably strong, I would say. So, and because we laid a lot of emphasis from day one on content, so, and with that strength, we tried to write the internet vehicle, and today you'll be surprised to know that within the last 2 months, we have around 24,000 enrollments
That's
on our
excellent.
portal, and from all over,
Okay.
and we are getting very good reviews from all segments of students. So that's how we always saw it, and I think we have a clear path in front of us now.
Mr. Vadera, TCY is a multi-crore venture today. So where would you place your franchisee role in your success story?
Oh yeah, they have a major role to play. Now going forward, as we are expanding, so expansion through franchise network makes a lot of sense for us. Uh, Reasons are capital requirement and speed. Majorly these two, because of these two factors. But having said that, I must tell you that tying up with a franchisee is like a marriage. You have to
That's
see
right.
your compatibility. It's a very sensitive area, a sensitive issue. So before you actually tie up with anybody, it's like they are representing you in that city, in all aspects, your processes, your delivery, everything, the student satisfaction, what they speak, how they express, what kind of delivery they give on your behalf. So but we have been lucky, I'll say, that our network has been very, very supportive, and they have been very, very respectful of the systems.
Mr. Vadera, do you have any special plans for the future?
Just imagine, and we always imagine that the next phase of education will be education through mobile. Just imagine if we are in college or school, and if we are commuting, or we are amongst friends, or we are going here and there, sitting anywhere within the college, outside. So if we have a device, that helps us, test our knowledge, do the tutorials, everything on that device, how easy, it would be, and any time of the day, or if you just want to benchmark yourself amongst a small peer group, you can do that. So those kinds of things we see happening in the future.
That's